What is going on, guys? My name is Vinny Vega, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the patch update that's coming to Battlefield Hardline. Now, first off, I want to thank Simthic.com. If you haven't checked out Simthic.com yet, go ahead and check it out because I linked it in the description below. This is the perfect one-stop shop of everything Battlefield when it comes to comparing weapons and what attachments to use on your guns. It's just a great website for everything, and their stats are 100% accurate. They do rip it right from the game code. I also want to thank them personally as well. If you check out the stat charts on Battlefield Hardline, you'll notice that the gun models aren't in the stat charts. So I asked them if I can put my own gun models in the stat charts, and they graciously said yes. The guys at Simthic, they're just some of the coolest people to deal with, period. I mean, cool like fawns, man. Like, hey, they are some awesome people to deal with. When it comes to the weapon balance in this game, the guys at Visceral must have been like really high when it comes to divvying out the weapon balance in Battlefield Hardline. I mean, clearly somebody was drinking the Kool-Aid, and not in a good way. That being said, this won't be the last patch to Battlefield Hardline. I mean, I think that would be obvious given the weapon balance currently. They haven't covered all the patches just yet, and I will get into some guns that I think deserve a nerf later on in this video. Now, to start things off, and I think a lot of you guys will be jumping for joy for this one, the K10 will be receiving a nerf. Its max damage is now 34 at around 10 meters, and it's going to be dropped down to 33, which means it'll require one extra shot to kill, provided you don't shoot them in the leg. If you shoot them in the arms or the chest area, it'll be a 4-shot kill, and if you shoot someone in the head, you will get your 3-shot kill still. And its minimum damage is also dropped down to 8 when it was originally at 12. This means that it'll literally take half a clip to kill someone at longer ranges. So, to say the least, you're going to have to choose your battles a little bit more wisely with the K10. This doesn't mean it's going to be a completely useless weapon. It'll still be very effective, considering it has a rate of fire of 1200 RPMs. So you will be shooting a lot of lead down the field, as it is anyways. Not to mention, the K10 has a blazing fast reload speed of 1.5 seconds, provided you have one bullet left in the chamber. The FNG-9, the Mechanic Syndicate Assignment unlock, is getting a buff in this patch. As of right now, it only does 21 damage up to 25 meters. Even though it does have a very fast rate of fire of 950 RPMs, this means it takes 5 shots to kill up close. Compared to the other weapons, and considering what loops you have to jump through just to unlock the gun, I mean, it makes it not worth unlocking in the first place. They're making the max damage 25, and there's talk about increasing the range as well. I have not unlocked the FNG-9 yet, but hopefully by the time I do, this patch will have already come. As of right now, there's no ETA when it will come, but hopefully within the next week or so. While we're on the subject of mechanic unlocks, the 410 Jury is also getting a buff. Basically, the pocket shotgun, a revolver that has shotgun shells instead of bullets, it'll gain an increase in damage per pellet. Not exactly sure what increase that will be. Considering the fact that I'm well on my way to completing the assignment 2 required to unlock 410 Jury, I'm going to be testing it out to see how it performs as of right now. There's going to be 2 classes of weapons that are going to have a recoil reduction rate on the criminal side. Starting off with the DMRs, the Sega and the PTR will have a reduction in recoil to be more in line with the Cops faction. And also the battle rifles, the HCAR and the HK51, will also have a recoil reduction to be in line with the Cop faction as well. Seems both of these classes of guns had super high recoil compared to the Cop faction, which made it completely unbalanced. I mean, the battle rifles already have a pretty high kick to begin with, and considering the robber side had more of a kick on their end, this is definitely a welcome change. And speaking of battle rifles, all the battle rifles' minimum damage will be increased to 25 across the board, provided you don't shoot them in the legs. This means you'll have a 4-shot guaranteed kill no matter what. And like I said, given the high recoil of the battle rifles, this is probably a good change, and it might make it a little bit more competitive compared to the assault rifles and the submachine guns. And I do got some decent gameplay with the AKM on the block. I pretty much went kill for kill, and it's not exactly the easiest gun to work with when you first pick it up. This is mainly due to the fact that it has a really high recoil. I mean, most AK variants do have high recoil, but they also have nice stopping power, and AKM is no exception to that rule. And as of right now, it does 36 damage up to 30 meters. Dropping off to 25 damage at 50 meters and beyond. This means it's going to be a 3 to 4 shot kill if you shoot them in the upper body, and a 2 to 3 shot kill if you shoot them in the head, at least one headshot. Now the only thing they're doing to the damage model of this gun is they're dropping the minimum damage to 24, which means it'll be a 5 shot kill once you reach that minimum range. I don't quite agree with this change. I mean, I do, but I don't. Reason behind this is, and I'm sure you guys will know the answer to this already, there's other assault rifles that need to be nerfed first in order to balance things out, and I think they should have included the AKM with, I don't know, M416, the M16A3. I'm just saying, why would you single out the AKM when the other weapons need to be nerfed as well? And this is where we kind of get nerd out a little bit more. I know I've been throwing some stat charts at you. I mean, there are some drawbacks to the AKM, like for instance, it does have a low fire rate compared to the other assault rifles. That being said, the AKM will be outclassed by submachine guns and of course the M416 and the M16A3, simply because the fire rate is faster. When you're only running at 600 RPMs, it's doable, but you're still going to be at a disadvantage when it comes to CQB. Okay, nerds and nerdettes, this is the part of the video where I'm going to go over 3 specific guns that definitely need a nerf in Battlefield Hardline, and I know I'm not alone here because I've seen it on Reddit, I've seen it on Battlefield Hardline forums. It's clear that most people want these changes to be made. Why they've kind of oversighted this, I have no idea why, but like I said, high as hell. Now, since we're about 7 minutes into the video, I'm going to make this short, cut, dry, and sweet. I will be going over the predecessors, being Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, for whatever weapon is involved, just to show you what I mean by high as a kite. And this is going to start right about now. The M416 does a max damage of 28 with a max range of 40 meters, dropping off to 18 at 60 meters and beyond, a rate of fire of 850. The M416 in Battlefield 4 has a max damage of 24 with a max range of 8 meters and its minimum damage of 18 at 55 meters, rate of fire of 750. The M416 in Battlefield 3 has a max damage of 25 at 8 meters once again, dropping off to 18 once again, but this time at 50 meters. The M16A3 does a max damage of 28 with a max range of 40 meters, dropping off to 18 damage at 60 meters, rate of fire 800. In Battlefield 4, the M16A4, which is the burst fire variant, does a max damage of 24 at 8 meters, dropping down to a minimum damage of 18 at 55 meters. The M16A3 in Battlefield 3 does a max damage of 25 with a max range of 8 meters, dropping off to 18 damage at 50 meters this time. This goes the same with the M16A4 variant as well. That's also in Battlefield 3. Clearly Visceral wanted to increase the damage a little bit and increase the max range that the damage does. The damage is fine where it's at, so let's cut the difference and let's make the max range, let's say 25 meters, or even 30 might be acceptable. The minimum damage range, we'll cut that to 50. That sounds good to me. If they did that, I think the M416, the M16A3 will be more balanced in Battlefield Hardline. Moving on, we're going to the Scout Elite. The Scout Elite in Battlefield Hardline does a max damage of 75 at 45 meters, dropping down to 51 damage at 90 meters and beyond, with a rate of fire of 85 and a 640 meter per second bullet velocity. The Scout Elite in Battlefield 4 does 100 max damage, up to 12.5 meters, dropping down to 36.6 damage at 110 meters and beyond, with an RPM rate of 63. And the bullet muzzle velocity is the same at 640. So let's drop the RPM rate down to 70, cut the difference, shave off that 15 RPM, and I think this Scout Elite will be a little less spammy, because as of right now, it fires about 2 bullets per second, which is absolutely, completely insane, making you want to rip your hair off every time you get killed by someone when they kill you with a follow-up shot. Because, let's face it, it's a bolt-action sniper rifle. So it should not be firing like a DMR. So I think if they cut it down to 70 RPM, it would be a little less spammy, and people will actually have to have a little bit more skill when using the Scout Elite. Now, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on not only the patch update that's coming, but also my suggestions on what should be nerfed and how. And maybe make your own suggestions on what also needs to be nerfed or buffed in that regards. Also, don't forget to rate this video, and I guess I'll see you on the next one.
I am a temple, can see new destruction. I am the